Howdy, Matthew Pizgatti checking in from Dallas, Texas. Welcome back to the channel. It's been a few days at least since I've posted anything. Main reason for that is that essentially we've been in a holding pattern. There's not been a lot going on with DRIP, the DRIP Garden. EMP's been steadily going for myself at least. I'm just compounding on all of those different ecosystems for the moment. Now, DRIP, we were seeing a huge downturn, but a little bit has changed. So I wanted to give you an update as to what's happening with DRIP, what we're seeing, and why. Now, if you've been following the charts at all, you can see DRIP, we had this huge downturn. It's been heading down. We had a little resistance, pop back up around 55, somewhere around there. And now if you'll see, I mean, we could already see after that jump at 55, and I may not have mentioned this in a previous video, but you can definitely see that if you look at, kind of these squares for reference, that we were seeing almost vertical drops, and then this started to kind of level off. So we already knew we were headed for something. And then we've hit a good bit of a floor here, it looks like. It's been hovering over 30.9, 31 for, this is the sixth day, and now we're at 31.3, so we're heading upward actually with a small amount of volume each little clip there. So this is really good. This is looking really positive. But why are we seeing this level off after this long drop? Because there's not been a huge update from Forex. I'm going to get to the update that he has dropped, but we haven't seen that update just yet as far as when the animal farm, the Piggy Bank, is going to be unpaused. So everyone's kind of waiting on that. But here's the news, I think, and some other things that I think are triggering this. At least one main project that I'm aware of that I'm not going to say a lot of people, but enough people probably from the DRIP ecosystem had thrown some funds at Splassive, which if you saw my previous video on that, 100% DRIP clone. It's on the Avalanche network, but 2% payout a day, I think. It didn't seem very sustainable to me, and I was incredibly turned off by the blatant copying. It looks like they've changed the website a little since I last looked at it, but I'm sure the white paper is still verbatim DRIP. And then look at this. This is what everyone's saying, rug pull, by the way. I mean, I'm not going to call it either way. I was skeptical about the project and didn't like it because of the blatant plagiarism of what DRIP was with minor adjustments. But yeah, people are saying rug pull. They're saying exploit. So I'm not going to pick a side on that. But here you see this huge drop, huge amount pulled out. And they're saying exploit. But here's another mark on the record of whoever was putting this out is that it's just they are aware of the exploit. They were aware of it. That's the statement they came out with, was that they knew it was in the code. They didn't think it applied to them, so they didn't try to correct it. And again, more evidence of just copying things and not having anyone on your team with the knowledge to patch that exploit. What if it did apply to you? Why would you leave that hole open? Unless you're just trying to play off of the popularity of DRIP. You see DRIP is dropping a little bit. So, hey, what if I make an exact clone that people think they can get in on the ground floor on? Anyway, I'm not going to sit here and bash them. I don't know that person personally. But there was an exploit, they said. It was left in. They didn't think it would apply to them. It did. Someone took advantage of it, and to get pretty soon after starting, this only lasted like a month. And it's been basically drained. I don't know anyone, if you're in it, if you put money in it, I don't know if you're going to be able to recoup that, if they're going to be able to patch this up. I don't know within their system if they have the ability to patch that, maybe do a version 2 and give everyone a chance to get in. I mean, some of these protocols have done that, like my Diamond team springs to mind. I think they had a version 2, right? And then Rex 2.0 we're still waiting on, but they're supposed to try to make it right and airdrop funds back to people after that launches. So sometimes devs do that. I don't know if we can expect that here, if you're going to get any type of recouping of your losses just because of the nature of this project. Rubbed me the wrong way to begin with, and I don't know if they have the capability to do like a V2 and even get your money back. So anyway, that kind of got wrecked. So I'm guessing that people are turning their attention away from that. That may have been one thing that was drawing some funds away. The other thing is that people are coming back because they're gearing up for the Piggy Bank unlaunch, or Piggy Bank unpause launching of version 2 Piggy Bank and Pig's tokens. So that's one thing that people are getting ready for, and they know that normally when Forex makes those announcements, when he has those AMAs, which he should be having very soon. I'm scrolling through my Telegram to grab the most up-to-date update from him, but they know that often boosts the price of DRIP. So this now remember with these type of price movements in DRIP, this does not mean that all of these people right here that are buying, it does not mean that they are throwing those into the faucet, all those DRIP. It doesn't mean they're throwing them into the faucet. They could simply be buying the token to hold because they know Forex is going to boost this, give us a little bump when his update goes live. So that may be why a lot of people are buying in right now. But either way, this floor is great for the DRIP Garden. I actually see the garden going up. Oh, but before I get into that, let me read this update from Forex. So Forex Shark, the developer of Animal Farm and DRIP, who's in charge of all that, he says, and this was on 4/4, so this is 2 days ago. He says, we're 100% ready. I'm literally only waiting for BB to hit me back so we can set a date. That's one of the other developers on his team. He says, I'm thinking next Tuesday. This way we have a week to promote. I'll do a bunch of interviews and AMAs to let everyone know and get a bunch of new people, and then we're going to go do it. So if he sticks to that timeline, he thinks he's going to promote over the course of this week, but I haven't seen much more in the way of updates. Maybe we will over the weekend. He does love Tuesdays. So regardless, it sounds like Tuesday will be an AMA day where he's going to answer a lot of questions. He'll probably do a voice chat, hop in there on the Telegram. So that'll be good. I'll try to take notes if I can listen to that and give you an update there. Now, if he doesn't get enough time to promote over the weekend, if he's not actually coming out with any updates before that Tuesday, I would not expect a Tuesday Piggy Bank launch. He's just, he delays like that. He's not on the ball on time about a lot of things. He's trying to make sure they're actually quality and ready. It seems like, which is good. That's all good, right? We want that in a dev, but we would like more timely communication. 100%. We'd like more updates and more timely communication. We've all said that 100 times. He needs someone to help him do that job for him. Put this on the 30-minute chart and kind of see what we're looking at today. So Tuesday sounds like it's probably an AMA. Now that should cause a good jump in the price. Now here's the prediction I'm still following along with, which I've been saying the whole time. It's kind of twofold. Now, one is that I think this is still an amazing price because we've seen the all-time high. The all-time highs are, upward 130, 150, somewhere up there. So we know that it can go up that high, and after the Piggy Bank gets launched and rolling, maybe a month, maybe two, who knows? We're going to see a lot more into DRIP, I think. All that being said, I mean that to say that, yes, I think we'll see a pump on Tuesday with that AMA. I think we'll see a pump after the Piggy Bank launches again for version 2. But we also know what happened with the first launch. People pulled money away from DRIP. That they were making money in DRIP. They were starting to claim more, hold less of those tokens freely if they had some that were liquid, and they're putting them into Piggy Bank because they want to participate in Piggy Bank. So even though I think we're going to see a jump, I could also easily see. I don't know if it's going to go any further down than this, but that's why it looks like my highlighted range here is falling off. Oh, there it is. That's why I had highlighted this range originally that I've been operating off of, because this is where we saw the most resistance previously, was all in this range, which is about 28 to, the all-time low is like 6 something. So I still see, I wouldn't be surprised, is what I'm saying, is if it did continue downward again after the Piggy Bank launch, if more funds were diverted and people wanted what we're going to put all into Piggy Bank and the Animal Farm and kind of forget about DRIP for a moment until they start making more profit in Piggy Bank and then funnel it back to their base. Because a lot of people view DRIP as like their base, their foundation. It makes money to fund into all these other projects. So they always come back to it, it seems. I mean, this is running, a year now? Almost a year? Over a year? Somewhere in that range, which is impressive. I mean, like we saw Splassive take off and then tank after a month. So So that's my prediction is kind of twofold. Is that I think we will see a bump on Tuesday if Forex does his AMA, and maybe even after the piggy bank launches. But if a lot of people are very interested in piggy bank and they do go back that direction, like when it launched last time, then we're going to see a downward trend again, and I won't be surprised if it goes back to some of those lower support levels. But all that being said, it is holding pretty steadily over 31, over 30, 31 for at least 6 days, and that's longer than this other resistance. Was that at 55, or is it about the same? No, yeah, that was only about like 3 days, maybe. If you count the pump, maybe 4 days. So this is good. This is good. We found some kind of a floor. This is an amazing price either way. If you're bullish on the system like I am, and you think it's going to go back up to close to those all-time highs before the end of the year, which I think we might see. And this is a really good floor. This is a really good price. And then all that being said, remember how the faucet works. If you're investing into the faucet, you're in here because you're getting 1% back a day. You're getting 1% back a day of drip. And if you're compounding that back into the faucet, it multiplies exponentially. The compound interest is such a powerful force, and it compounds and it compounds. And you're getting 1% back on drip. You're not getting 1% back on whatever dollar amount it is rated as, whatever it's valued at. So if I have 8.142 drip, and I'm getting 1% of that back a day. I'm not getting 1% in dollars. I mean, I am for that day. You could equate it to that. Equivalent, it is valued at a certain dollar amount. But remember that we're getting drip back. So if my long-term goal is to start claiming 4 months down the road, or wherever my goal is, 6 months down the road, 8 months down the road, this is nothing right now. We're going to build back up to that with everyone else who is investing at these low prices to become the next round of whales or join the whales who are already there. That's really the goal, right? So I do think this is an amazing price. I'm not going to guarantee that it will go lower because this is a pretty good floor. Looks like we found a pretty good support. I mean, 6 days or so running, that's pretty good. But all that being said, it could go lower. I just wouldn't count on that if you're waiting to get in, if you're trying to jump in there, right? So that's my opinion on the drip price. But this is pretty cool. This is a good chart we're seeing. That was a pretty fast bump up to the all-time high. So it's good to see more steady price action. I think that's healthier for any type of financial that we're looking at. There's less volatility, but it's a long-term. It's a long-term trade. So we're going to keep compounding and get to a point where we feel comfortable withdrawing every now and then and keeping the whole system healthy for all of us as a whole. We saw a lot of these protocols focus on that a lot more, like EMP. They focus on keeping the whole protocol healthy so that everyone keeps making money for years to come, hopefully. So back to the drip garden. The drip garden's doing much better, and this is just more proof on what. And I know this video is getting long. I'll probably split this into a separate one, make another video about the garden. But I'm up to about 1,200, 1,300 plants. And this is just more kind of vindication, proof of what we're seeing, that when the drip price is semi-steady, if the drip price is semi-steady, that means that the drip/BUSD, the drip BUSD LP token, is going to be relatively steady. You can see it hit around 19 on the first as well, and for that same amount of time, here it is, kind of horizontal. Now, contract balance is still going down. People are not catching on that they don't have as much faith in the garden. So if you have a YouTube channel, if you have an blog that you write, and you're bullish on the whole system and you like the garden, now is really a good time to promote it, especially at these lower prices getting in, because we all want to head back upward. Contract balance going up, the LP token price going up, all those things help push your garden higher to where you can actually start claiming again, where you're actually making enough profit to feel like you can claim now and then. So I just compounded 40-something plants this morning. I'm at 1.373. 373. So this chart hasn't updated to show that. So 3.7 would be over here, right? So this is actually where I'll be up to. It's going to shoot up to here after this huge compound I did this morning. I let them kind of build up over a day and a half or so. I'm making over, what am I making right now? I'm making 42 plants a day. So But you can see now that I've crossed that 1,000 plant threshold, and with drip holding steady, you can see I'm kind of horizontal here, maybe creeping up a little bit. But then when we hit that April 1st, when drip is steady and holding or going up, you see this huge upward trend, right, in LP. Now that definitely outpaces the decay in the dollar amount as well, not just of what the LP's worth, because of course it all converts. If I'm looking at this dollar amount, I know that this was 26 something yesterday and it's 27 today. So that means that I am outpacing the decay, and it may just be the number of plants. I've kind of crossed the threshold here. But that's definitely outpacing the decay. Now, what we're going to have to do is that's a good thing I'm taking this video. We're going to use this snapshot of 0.032, 19.8181. I'm going to come back and look at this video, and then in 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, whatever, if drip is steady or going up, we'll be able to calculate a better rate of decay and kind of see what that's at. And that'll help us get a better gauge of where we're headed. I also know this value here has gone up a little bit. I think that had dropped down to the 700s. So we're outpacing the decay right now, and that just gives more proof to that if the DRIP BUSD or the DRIP price, if the DRIP price will stay relatively steady, we can outpace the decay. And if the contract balance goes up, we'll do even better. And that's just the way this cookie crumbles. So that's another long-term type of investment where, if drip is doing amazingly, the garden's going to do amazingly. But until then, we're just going to keep compounding. We're going to keep compounding and get to a point where we feel comfortable claiming every now and then, where we're not going to hurt our decay so much. And you can really see these charts are just really helpful for you to get an idea. When you're going up, up, and up, this is great because then I'm not going to harvest right now because of how low the converts to dollar amount. I don't really want it right now. I want it to be much higher before I start harvesting anything. But you can see what happens is all that would have happened is if we take one of these peaks of a day, like when it transfers to the third, somewhere around here. Like if we took this peak area here, that's all that would happen is that we would have missed that. So it would be a step behind. So if we decided to harvest one day, one of these huge peaks, we would essentially just be a step behind, and we're going to lose a little ground every time we harvest. And so that gives you a really good visualization of what happens when you harvest and how that would negatively affect you. It would really negatively affect you if you were trying to harvest every single day. That's why that strategy doesn't work. That's why when you get to a point where you can harvest, you'll really be harvesting like once a week, maybe twice a week if you want to push it. And you'll just keep an eye on your stats, and you'll make sure that your LP is still growing steadily week by week. If I'm harvesting once a week, I'm going to be checking my LP like every 3 days or every 2 days and make sure it's increasing. If I'm harvesting twice a week, I might glance at the LP at like a weekly basis at that point if I was harvesting twice a week. And I'd probably space those days out. I'd do like a Friday and a Sunday, or like a Sunday and a Thursday, something. Just space them out, and you'd want to make sure that your LP is still increasing. Make sure you're compounding enough to outpace the decay, and then you can harvest every now and then. Now, I don't care about getting $30, but today I don't need that, and I want to keep compounding. I don't want to lose any ground while we're on the uptrend, but at some point we'll get to that place where we feel like we can harvest, and that'll be great. So that's what's going on with DRIP. That's what's going on with the Piggy Bank. Forex is likely going to make an announcement. Given AMA on Tuesday, we'll probably see a boost in DRIP price. I'm not guaranteeing that's going to be the ultimate pump. It's kind of pumping up right now, though. I think this is a great price to be at, and if I wanted to invest more in DRIP, or if I had the free capital to do it, I likely would. That's something I think I would do. Not financial advice for you. Obviously not a financial advisor. I don't claim to be. I cannot tell you what to do with your money. So those are just some of my thoughts and where I'm thinking we're at. So it could go lower, but if it does go lower all the way into these supports, all the way down to like $6, I would not worry. I'm not worried about the protocol. I don't see it just draining out quickly. I think it's made too many people too much money for it to die, and they're going to keep coming back for more until it just doesn't work anymore. But nothing has changed fundamentally about the mechanisms of the protocol So I also don't see that happening. I don't see it just dying. It can. I could be 100% wrong. It could tank tomorrow and explode. Who knows? It's had a really long run, which is kind of rare for this DeFi crypto space. So the DGen DeFi crypto space. These are just gambles. These are games, but they do make money. So that's really interesting, and we're following along. So I wish you guys all the best. Hope you're having a great day, morning, evening, afternoon, night, whatever part of the world you are in. Hope you're having a safe and wonderful day. It's a really great day here in Texas, hitting that kind of spring weather. It's beautiful and green and windy and not too hot just yet. We haven't hit our upper 90s, 100-degree summers just yet, Fahrenheit, for those of you who are in other parts of the world. Yeah, so we're just trucking along. I'm going to keep following DRIP. I'm going to keep giving you guys updates, especially after Tuesday if Forex does go ahead and make some big announcement. And that's what I think everyone's kind of waiting for. You got this waiting game. You see that with stocks and such, too. It's kind of like an earnings announcement that's going to be coming out, earnings disclosure, where they talk about their quarterly earnings. Forex may drop some big news, and I think a lot of people know that. I mean, he's been working on Piggy Bank nonstop, I assume, but he may have some sneaky other things to drop in there. And it may coincide, coincidentally, with Splassive, failing. Maybe he was waiting for that. We don't really know. He could have timed that perfectly, where Splassive kind of gets wrecked, and then he swoops in with some huge announcement. We really don't know. So I think that's a lot of this kind of horizontal movement and waiting is to see what he comes out with. He may just come out and say, hey, the Piggy Bank's going live this day. Be ready. And remember, when that does go live, by the way, we're going to have 48 hours to put piglets in there, and we're going to get a 15%, 10 or 15% bonus within those 48 hours. So that's pretty cool if you're also going to be time locking and getting the time lock bonus. You could multiply your bonus quite a bit. You could be getting a 30, 40, 50% bonus with a shorter time lock than you would have than you would have received with the normal time lock. So that's kind of exciting. If you were waiting to get into the piggy bank, that's a little extra incentive for you to do so. And I've carried the end of this video long again. Well, yeah, so I hope you guys are having a great one. I will see you on the next video, and I will keep you updated. Thanks. Until the next time.